Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And yes, this is one of my day shoots. I just didn't bother to put my hair up today because I wasn't going out. So in this video, we're going to do this book. So this is Operation Sisterhood by, oh dear God, I can't pronounce this name. I'm not going to try. The author, here, I can give you a little close-up. You can read that. I'm not going to try. So, yikes. Her parents are immigrants from, I think Jamaica and Nicaragua is what she said at the end of the book. Let's see. Yes, because she talks about, and there are recipes in that in this book. Let's see where her family is from, which might explain the very interesting names. Jamaica and Nicaragua, or Nigeria, sorry. So it's also separated. So it explains the unpronounceable name here. So what this book is about, the main character's name is Bo, and that is short for something else I can't pronounce. And she lives in New York with her mom, and her mom starts dating another gentleman, and eventually they move in together. And he has a daughter, Sunday, and then they live with another couple, and those two have a pair of twin daughters. So the two families, what are the names of the daughters? I think it's Lee and something else. Lee and Lil are the name of the twin girls. So a lot of this book is Bo adapting to living with this combined family, and there are chickens and there are cats, and it's kind of chaotic, and they homeschool, which is another interesting kind of thing. What I get the impression of when I'm reading the book is they're unschooling. Now all the girls are older. Bo and Sunday are 11, and I don't think the twins are much younger than that. They're like 8 or 9. So they are beyond the point where they need the basics. And of course, Bo's been to public school. So it's her adaptation. They move into this house that's kind of chaotic. Her mother teaches baking. The stepfather runs a bookshop. The other two families, he's an actor, and the wife is, I believe she's an artist. So I think she does pottery in the basement. So they're very eclectic as a family, and they're homeschooling, and they're African American, and they live in the Bronx, in this brownstone, and the community doesn't entirely accept them because they're weird. And the book is very much about this family coming together, Bo adapting to being part of this much larger family, to homeschooling and learning on her own, and being around these now 3 other sisters, because they operate as a family and not in that way. No, you have 2 couples with 2 kids. And no, again, this is a children's book. So, but it's very much about Bo adapting to that and them becoming part of the community and kind of getting into trouble and learning, and kind of, it's a big family book. That's the reason it's called Operation Sisterhood. And they learn about each other. It's a decently long book. And Bo is very much into baking, and they play music, and they do schoolwork in here. So, but there is a couple recipes in the back here. There's a cake recipe, which is Bo's Sunshine Surprise Smile Cake. So, and then has raspberry frostings, and then you have the directions for the cake. So that's what we have in the back. So we have that recipe, which is, and it's a very fun book. Let's see if I can get to the very back, how many pages, because it is decently long. Yes, that's the note from the author, which is also decently long. The book is 296 pages, so it is decently long. It's really, really fun. It's enjoyable, particularly we're doing this for Black History Month. I enjoy books like this that embrace different families. Now, I didn't know when I grabbed this that it was, in fact, a homeschooling book. So that was a bonus. I was just looking for books for Black History Month, and this happened to be popped up, and of course it's from my library. This is where I get most of my books. So it is very fun, it's very interesting. It's very much about blended families. The author mentioned her family moved around a lot. She just had one younger sister, which apparently she enjoyed bossing around. I was the one that was being bossed around, so I was not hugely big on that. Hopefully my mic is working a little bit better. There we go. But again, it's a fun book. If you're looking for homeschooling books, this is great. Alternative families, kind of artistic. Again, they play music, goes into the drums. So they have dogs, they have cats, they have chickens, and it's just kind of chaotic. And no, they're unschooling, but they're not. The kids have chores to do. The parents are still parenting. They still insist their kids do things. They go to the park. They go to a lot of museums. I have never been to New York City, so don't know much about that. I live in the suburbs. But the parents are very active in their homeschooling and their parenting. So it is a great kind of representation of this chaotic, fun family, and how Bo specifically kind of comes into adapting to going from it just being her and her mom to this 3 other parents, this stepdad, who she does like, a sister who's the same age, and these like 2 younger sisters, and these 2 other parents, and just kind of a chaotic, fun household, and how they work to open a community garden and incorporate into a community that thinks they're weird, essentially, that thinks they're weird. So fantastic book, either if you're African American, if you're homeschooling, if you're interested in music and baking, and just looking for a good, fun book about family integration. This book is fantastic. This is definitely elementary age or middle school. You could probably read this into high school. Again, the main character is 11, so that dictates where my library would have put it. That's the reason it's in the children's sections, because this is definitely more of a middle school grade book. Because again, the main character is 11, and that's what I'm basing my opinion on. This is from the point of view of an 11-year-old. So fantastic book. Really recommend it. Again, I cannot pronounce the author. I will link her, as I do with all my reviews these days. I used to, when I first started, link the Amazon page. Now I work to link the author's page, if I can, or something close enough to the author's page, at least when it comes to my books. So that is it for this review. Yes, I know it's not very long. I did have to skim through this a little bit because, 1, dyslexic, 2, kind of getting behind. Unfortunately, my mother passed a little over a week ago now, so I'm dealing with that. This is being shot in October. My mom died about a week ago. This is October 6th, so she died last Wednesday. So I'm dealing with that, and I have a 4-year-old, so things are kind of chaotic. So sometimes I have to skim through these things rather than read them word for word. So highly recommend this book. If you like what I see, I'm obviously covering Black History Month. I do that every February. I do have picture books, and I do different mediums here. There are picture books this month. I'm moving on to women's history next month. Once Black History Month is done, then we're moving on to the Titanic in April. June and July are going to be immigration Our May and June are immigration, starting with Asian immigration in June, and then European immigration in our May. I'm studying Angel Island, which is Asian immigration through the Pacific. In June, I'm doing Ellis Island, which is European immigration through New York, New Jersey. Then we're doing cooking in July. I'm doing Women Inventors in August. I'm doing a deep dive into Beauty and the Beast in September. If you want a preview of kind of what that's going to look like, check out my Cinderella playlist, which is what I've done with that. So then I'm doing space in October because I ran out of spooky stuff. And then I'm doing the Hindu Festival of Diwali in November. I know it's Native American and Indigenous People Month, but I did that 2 years in a row. You can check out those playlists. I ran out of material. And then in honor of my mother, or just because I intentionally planned it, December is going to be mysteries. So, but that is really it. You can check out the channel. I also cover various book series, including Anne of Green Gables, Boxcar Children are coming up this year, Wings of Fire. I've done some other stuff, so you can check out my playlists there. So like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one. Thank you.